Welcome to another exciting episode of Cyber Streets at Sankofa Inner City Culture League. I am Mr. Wentz, and I'm glad to see you all today. In the spirit of Black History Month being next month and the Tuskegee Airmen showing that we're going to have here at the center, yes, that's going to be on February the 6th between 10 and 5:30, and February the 7th between 1 and 4:30. Hopefully I got those correctly. Those are Saturdays and a Sunday. Please come out and join us. Today, in the spirit of that, I want to talk about planes, or more to the point, I'm going to talk about gliders. What is the difference, you ask? Well, basically, a glider is a special kind of aircraft that doesn't have an engine, whereas a plane would. Okay? Basically, what we're going to do at the end of this exercise, we're going to look at some paper airplanes, and we're going to send you some paper so you can actually make your own paper airplanes. They're very simple to make and very easy to fly. Types of gliders. They're hang gliders. Hang glider is basically a piloted aircraft having just like cloth kinds of wings and minimal structure. They don't have like you will notice in a regular plane. That's what I mean by minimal structure. A sailplane is basically a piloted aircraft having a standard aircraft parts and construction and flight controls. But again, it also doesn't have any engine. This was news to me. The space shuttle actually returns to, when it's returning to Earth, it does so as a glider. There is no engines involved. It simply just kind of glides to the ground. I didn't know that until I did the research for this. The engine is only used for takeoff. There are three forces that work in conjunction with a glider. They are lift, drag, and weight. Lift is the basically is the opposite or opposes the weight. It's what gets the holds the aircraft in the air. Okay, it's generally mostly by the wings of a glider, whatever they happen to be. Drag is an aerodynamic force that opposes an aircraft motion through the air. So as an aircraft is trying to go forward, drag is trying to hold it back. Okay, and again, it's generated by the interaction and the contact of a solid body through air or through a fluid, liquid or gas. Air is a gas, for those of us that didn't know that. And then the weight, okay? The weight is a force that's generated by the gravitational attraction to the Earth. We all should be aware of it, but that's what keeps us on the ground. It's the same thing when it comes to a plane. You must overcome it in order for an aircraft to lift up into the air and fly. Now, as I said, there are only three forces when we talk about gliders because they don't have an engine. But when you talk about a motorized airplane, there's a fourth. You'll notice that an airplane, just like a glider, has lift, it has drag, it has weight, but it also has something called thrust. What is thrust? Thrust is the fourth force that comes into play when you talk about planes. Basically, it is the force which moves an aircraft through the air. Okay? It's used to overcome the drag, and as we talk about drag, is that force stopping the plane from moving forward, and the weight of basically rockets, because thrust is what allows rockets to go off into space, and they're going upwards, so you have to overcome their weight. An aircraft is trying to move along in the air, and it goes against drag. And again, this force only comes into play when you talk about aircrafts with engines, not gliders, not our paper planes that we're going to talk about next. We have, again, we're going to supply you with folded paper so that you might fold your own paper airplanes, otherwise known as gliders. We're providing you with two. But the thing that you're going to have to provide is a pair of scissors. because with one of the planes, you're going to have to cut out small little inserts to make rudders for the plane. This is an example of what you're going to see, and I'm going to fold one here just to give you guys an idea of what mine looks like, because yours will look different, because every paper airplane may look similar, but unless we fold exactly the same way, in exactly the same dimensions, and exactly the same measurements, our planes are fundamentally different. And whereas mine may just go right to the ground, yours may soar all the way to my back door here. So these are examples of what yours could look like. I'm going to show you what mine looks like. I look forward to seeing what yours looks like. So you'll get two sheets. This is page 1 of 1. This is page 2 of that. Then there'll be a second one. This is page 1 of 2, and that's 2 of 2. Now, again, don't go away. I'm going to stop sharing my screen because I'm going to make my paper airplane or my glider, and you get a chance to watch. So I'm going to use the example paper that we sent to you. In my case, I've made it double-sided so that it's properly folded into one sheet of paper. But I could have started with a blank piece of paper, like this one, has nothing on it. So if you have paper plane designs, I'd like to see those. Start with a piece of paper, show me what you have. Make a short video of your plane flying and send it in to us. You can send it into our email, Sandycap, that's SANICAAF @gmail.com. We would love to see what you guys have. But like I said, I'm going to practice and show you what I could do with the example that we were given. So I'm going to simply fold my paper in half because that's what the instruction tells me to do. Be careful not to get a paper cut. So be careful when you're sliding your hands along the outer edges, because you can't get a paper cut if you're not careful. So be careful of that, please. Okay? In accordance to my instructions, I need to fold this way. So, because it tells us to fold so that the numbers disappear. So I fold number 2, and I'm going to fold it so that my edge ends at the bottom edge of my plane. So I now look like this. I do that on one side, and then I do that on the other side. My instructions then tells me to fold it again. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to fold it so that the edge comes down to the edge of my plane once more, keeping the first one I did in place. Because I wanted to all be nice and neat, fold along the line that is there. And there I go. Come on. I'm reminded that I didn't really make paper airplanes when I was a kid. Now I'm thinking I should have. And what I do on the one side, I then turn and do it on the other side. All right. So I have my airplane looking like this so far. But then it tells me that I need to fold once more. So I then do that. And again, what I do on one side, I have to turn and do on the other side. So I do that. Now let's see what I have. Now I have an airplane that looks like that, which is pretty cool looking. So hang on. because I'm gonna flip my screen, my camera, so you guys can see how far it goes. And hopefully yours goes further than mine goes. So hold on. Watch, hopefully we don't knock down none of the great displays that are gonna be in here, but here we go. Let's see how far it goes. Not bad. Did you guys see that? I look forward to seeing how far yours goes. I am Mr. Williams. I look forward to seeing how far yours goes. Until next time, have a great day. Take care.